Who have been some of your best mentors? Who's given you guys great career advice or helped to mentor you on your career paths?
I would say best mentors are the people who code for free. So people who work on open source or, just people out there in like coding communities, building, open source software. I think for me, when I worked on open source projects, that's when I found like the best teachings because they understand practices that work best for them. And then they kind of are able to pass it down to you.
And where do you connect with those people?
You can find them usually if you look really hard, maybe on platforms like Discord or, even on GitHub. I think those are great platforms for you to connect with other fellow engineers.
I've been to boot camps before that are taught exclusively through Discord, which is cool because you're using software to actually educate people you may not have direct access to, but are willing to share their time and teach people who are up and coming.
I mean, for me, like a lot of my college time I spent on Stack Overflow, which is like it's like an online forum where you could sort of ask questions that you might have for your code. Like if something's not running properly, you could ask somebody to take a look at it. And then even if you don't put out the question yourself, sometimes somebody else might have asked the question and you could just see the answer for. So that has also been a great resource, that and Reddit. I will say that because I am more program focused, so the art has been a struggle. I've been spending a lot of time like just looking at YouTube videos, like tutorials and stuff like that. So
can I also add the new mentor is AI. So ChatGPT, Gemini, Cursor, that's a new like coding IDE. I think those are the new mentors because you could just feed it a bunch of code and you can ask it to explain it, maybe how you can do something better, how you can refactor code so it runs more efficiently. I mean, right now, that's like, if you can't find someone or you can't reach out to someone, maybe even virtually, that's like a great starting point for in terms of mentorship.
Okay, what if you actually want to talk to a person?
Stack Overflow, there's a website where you can ask a question and anyone from the community will help you out.
Facebook groups.
Facebook group?
GitHub.
Reddit, Discord.
Reddit, Discord.
I usually just start with a search and then usually, Stack Overflow tends to have very clear questions and answers. Reddit sometimes has what I'm looking for, although sometimes they don't, nobody responds. And recently I was also touching on an open source project, and that one had a community on Discord. And that was pretty active, where if I had any questions about the code, there was very likely someone who knew exactly what I was talking about. Mostly, Stack Overflow for general stuff. And then if you have a specific community, that's even better.
So basically, I am working on this open source project for AWS. It's AWS functions, and over there on GitHub, there's a community where we can find the issues and we can ask the community that I will fix the issue. I just want to know how should I proceed, and they're quite helpful.
Okay, and what's the vibe like when you're interacting with the community?
I mean, you have to be very formal. I would recommend don't use any emojis or anything, otherwise you'll get banned from the community. But yes, otherwise just be respectful and everything. That's it.
More like, where do you find camaraderie? Where do you find other coders online that you can use an emoji, you can be more relaxed with? Where do you find that community?
I think hackathons are a great place for, camaraderie, where, you have a topic or a theme, and you have like 24 hours, 36 hours to build a certain product together as a team. I think that builds like very, deep connections, and you're solving very complex problems together, and that kind of builds, a sense of camaraderie with each other.
I think one of the greatest places to meet other people in engineering or computer science is going to be x.com, where, you have a shift towards technical over, entertainment. People are trying to learn more tech and mathematics, specifically through the algorithm. What your algorithm feeds you is kind of going to be what you take in. So if you have an algorithm that's more geared towards science and STEM and engineering, it's more healthy for people, but also creates that community where as soon as you press on a post, you're already in a community of people who you can ask right now, hey, what do you think? Or you can see some of the best programmers who are alive today right there on Twitter. You can ask them a question and they can respond to you. So that's a great community.
Part of it is Discord, but I went to GDC, which is the Game Developer Conference, a couple years back, and that's based out of San Francisco. And so I met a bunch of people there. I joined a Discord group there. So that has been kind of where I've based my group around.